My name is Dave McMahon, Editor-in-Chief of Powersports Business Magazine. Welcome to another edition of the Powersports Business Video Chat, sponsored by Synchrony. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Bobby Betancourt of Betancourt's Honda out of West Bridgewater in Massachusetts. Just a real storied family dealership out there. Got to know Bobby real well at the AIM Expo last year during the Powersports Dealer Seminars. He had some really great insight on some things he's doing with the MIC and the bank card there. So I wanted to bring Bobby on just to get a little bit of insight as to how things are going at the shop and some new things you're doing on the race side and stuff. So first of all, Bobby, welcome to the video chat.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Yeah. So first of all, just give some. You can see from the stuff behind you that you really do have some cherished memories there on the photos. A little bit about the history of your guys' family dealership.
Absolutely, yeah. We have pictures all over the place, and every time I'm on a Zoom call, people comment on I'm in a different room, but everywhere I go, there's pictures everywhere. Yeah, so we got some cool stuff behind me. We got some cool stuff everywhere, but here's one picture of me on one of my dad's flat trucks. I can't tell you which one it is, but back when I was like, one or two at the shop, he would sit me on different bikes.
That's probably a picture that many of our viewers have in diapers at the shop, getting ready to spend a lifetime in the dealership and stuff, and you've been able to thrive in that environment. So maybe bring us back to mid-March and when the coronavirus hit, and how you guys kind of reacted, and some of the pivots you've had to make, and just reflecting a little bit on where you started from there and where you're at now.
Sure. So in March, I think it was like March 22nd, when the governor said that we were shutting down, and we didn't know where we're at. They told us, retail businesses had to shut down. We thought that we were going to be shut down. Weren't sure if we were covered under transportation or not. And so we sent everyone home for a day, and then we found out from the MIC that, we were allowed to be open, and that we ought to be open. So we stayed open, but it was tough getting employees there for the first, month through April and stuff like that. We started out just a couple of guys. We had just a couple of guys helping us out, me and my Uncle Mark, the owner here at Betancourt's. And we learned a lot. We had to learn a lot to keep the business rolling, and that's how it goes. You do everything you can to keep things going as smoothly as possible.
Right. How difficult was it to, obviously when you sent those people home, they go on unemployment. We kept hearing more and more stories from dealers about how difficult it was to get those folks back. Did you encounter the same problems in terms of trying to get the previous employees to rejoin you?
Absolutely. Thankfully, though, we have a really tight knit shop, and we say we're all like family. So obviously, when money comes into it, I mean, if you get an extra $600 a week on top of unemployment, you're making more staying home than it would be at work. That sucks for us, And down the road, that's led to just like everyone needs to make more money now. They were getting that much money off unemployment. Now they didn't make that much more money when they're coming back. So I think employee appreciation is really great, and I really appreciated all the employees that stayed. We had employees that were on unemployment, but they just came in to volunteer. They stuck it out with us just to help out. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what were some of the so when you guys were just a handful of you on deck there for those first 3, 4, 5 weeks? What were some of the challenges and successes that, you personally, maybe some things that you had not had to do in the past that now you don't have a choice but to do in terms of the, general operations of the shop?
Right. So I've only been here for a couple of years, full time, and obviously I spent a lot of time here, but working only here a couple of years. And there was a lot of stuff that you realize, like, wow, I actually don't know how to do that, and like we can do parts orders, but like when you go in and you run into so many little different issues. So I had to learn all those little different things, but mainly we had to, both Mark and I had to learn how to be the parts manager. We had to be the finance manager, and learn finance. I didn't know anything about finance. I had to learn everything about finance on my own, calling up the girls that had known in the office. And then, sales and ordering bikes and seeing where we're at and communicating with our reps, as well as service too. Service was kind of at a deadlock, and had to communicate with all the people that we had their bikes here, and we didn't have many people to work on them to get them out, so it was all on us, but we got it done. And man, after that 1 month of like really hard times, it just skyrocketed, and it ended up being a blessing in disguise, totally, because we learned so much, and so we came out of it better than ever. And then the market was there. Everyone, all of these kids want to go riding. The parents want to get the kids riding, and then they see a couple kids down the road that are riding all day. And they're like, I want to get a bike. So it just took off, totally took off, and it's been great. Better than it has been in many years, I would say.
Yeah. You had mentioned earlier just a little bit about some of your customers talking about how great it is to go ride with no, back in that specific time, no cars on the streets, and being able to just enjoy life on two wheels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, April had to have been the best April riding ever around here, especially. I mean, we're on a busy road, and you'd see a total of 5 cars go by a day, and they might have been the 5 cars that were pulling in to get some parts from us.
That's awesome. Yeah. What were some of the how was the inventory from? We hear from the MIC the dirt bike numbers are just out the roof, and how was that? How did your shop reflect that?
Yeah, so thankfully we often have a big inventory of bikes. Maybe not as big as some in our area, but we have a great inventory, and we ended up selling everything we had. And so thankfully we had that inventory, because we ended up not being able to get a whole lot, during the shutdown. So we sold out of everything we had for dirt bikes or small dirt bikes in May, and we just had a few 450s left type thing. But dirt bikes were gone in May, and then that was it. Everyone had them. We did what we could to get our hands on used bikes, but yeah, we sold out of everything immediately. And then, but the numbers didn't slow down in June and July. We thought like, oh wow, I only have 150 bikes on my floor in July. I'm like, how am I going to make it through another month? And they just sell. They just all sell no matter what. So it's been really great. We got rid of a lot of that leftover stuff, and got people on every different type of new bike.
Right. How, so when the customer comes in, they, may have gone to other shops or whatever, is it, knowing how much the demand is for the bikes, are you guys able to hold margin well? And,
yeah, absolutely.
What's that process been like?
Absolutely. I remember one time in particular, there was a customer that wanted one of the last CRF 125s, and he said, "What can you do for me? Can you do this?" And some people know how to ask really well, and I would say, "No, I'm sorry, I can't." And I would be nice about it and say, "But we can do this, we can do this, we give you 10% off." And he just kept on coming at me after like 5 times, and then he realized like, okay, this is the last bike. I guess I'm gonna have to get it from these guys. But there was a lot of that, and we had to explain to them like, I'm sorry, but where it is right now, we can't discount too much. So we did. We kept margins very high. It was great. Even now, our reps are telling us like we don't know how much product we're going to be able to get over the next 6 months. So you got to make sure you're doing the best with what you got.
Right. Yeah. What's just reflecting on that a little bit more? What is your kind of outlook for inventory, and what you'd like to have versus what you might think you're going to get in the second half of the year?
At this point, my outlook is we're always, like I said, we're always kind of a bit of a warehouse where we have the inventory, and my outlook is I would rather go out paying for that inventory that we can't sell, and maybe discount it in the future to get rid of it. I'd rather go out like that than to not have the bikes to sell and just be standing by with the hands in our pockets and saying, well, this is unfortunate,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my thought. I would like to have as much as possible, but unfortunately, with the world where it is, we're not sure what we're going to be able to get.
Sure. Yeah. No, Bobby, appreciate the insight there and the getting down in the weeds of your guys' dealership operations. One more thing I wanted to get into that follow you guys on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and can't help but see here this season just your Moto America racing has kind of taken off. I know. So you guys are in Mass. I'm out here in Minnesota. We do have both a love for ice. Talk a little bit about how your racing career got started.
Yes, sir. So I got started, when I was 4, I started racing at the local ice races. And they said that they knew right away I was going to be a decent racer. But I would say when you have racing on both sides of your family, that's kind of inherent. Uh, so with that, I grew up racing my whole life. Me and my dad went to the races every single weekend, and he had tracks built for me in the backyard over here. So I was always riding through flat track, motocross. And then when I was 16, I got into road racing. My uncles on the other side of the family, the Oselsky side of the family, got me into the road racing scene, and I loved it. I really, really loved it. It was very technical, and I excelled at it right away. So we did that for a couple of years. And then last year, beginning of last year, I got an SV 650 and moved up to the Twins, did a little bit of that, started going down south to Barber and around there. And I was like, let's keep going. So we got an FZ07 twin, and he had that set up for Moto America. So we said, let's give it all we got. Let's see if we can qualify. And I just wanted to qualify, see if I could do it so that I could get faster in the future, And so that's my whole thing is you always got to be chasing down the fast guys to get faster. So I was ecstatic to go down to Moto America. Let's see, 2 weekends ago at Road Atlanta. And I was stoked to qualify. So I qualified and had a great race, took 3 seconds off my lap time. Thanks to Clearwater Lights, I had fresh tires all weekend, which makes a huge difference. And the Joey O Racing team set up the whole bike like perfect. It couldn't be any better. A lot of time spent on that bike, and it worked out great. And I can't ask for anything any better than.
That's a really cool entry into Moto America. And then, so do you have visions of you're just going to kind of, 3 seconds off that time? That's not chump change.
Yeah.
What kind of goals do you have for yourself?
Yeah, I absolutely. So the goals are endless. I just want to do my best. In the last, let's see, like 6-9 months, I've only been on the bike twice. So I don't have a whole lot of time on the bike, because of how much I'm working. So hopefully, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get any more seat time on it. The next race will be at Barber. And we'll just keep on pushing it against these guys that are racing every weekend, and hopefully the best.
That's awesome.
As we get things settled in here a bit more, and get betting courts back on track where I don't have to be here quite as much, I can start taking weekends to go racing the FZ07.
Yeah, right. Bobby, you've thrown a couple of when you're 4 and when you're 16. How old are you here these days?
I'm 20. I'm 20 years old.
So that's super cool. Just a really great success story here in the industry. Bobby, just want to thank you once again for spending some time with us here on the Powersports Video Chat sponsored by Synchrony. Wish you all the best of luck here as we wrap up the year, and hopefully we'll see you face-to-face and in person before too long. And in the meantime, appreciate it again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate you having me on, and thank you to all the viewers. Thanks, Powersports Business and Synchrony. Thank you, guys.